All right, my name is Cody Goranson, and today we're going to be talking about SAQ, change of direction and rate of force development. Okay, now I'm going to give you the definitions, then I'm going to give you some real sports examples using football, and then we'll talk about the importance of rate of force development in SAQ. Now, starting off with speed. Speed is the skills needed to achieve high movement velocities. Okay. Agility is the ability to accelerate, decelerate, stabilize, and maintain posture through your movements. Okay. Quickness is the ability to react, okay, and change direction with maximal force. Now, change of direction, don't get it mixed up, okay, with quickness, because change of direction is considered pre-planned. Okay, you're not reacting to an external stimuli. You're not reacting and then changing direction. It was a pre-planned change of direction. Okay, it'll make a little more sense when you get into the examples. Now, using football, a good example of speed, I'll give you a few. One good example of speed is gunners, okay? Now, if you don't watch football or you don't know what a gunner is a person on kickoff or punt. When we're punting the ball, we'll go with punt. They're the dudes on the outsides near the sidelines, okay? And they run as fast as they can. They take off as soon as the ball is snapped. They don't wait for the kick. As soon as the ball is snapped from the center to the punter, the gunners on both sides are going to book it all the way downfield as fast as they can. Sometimes they get there before the ball does. Sometimes the ball's still in the air, and they ran so fast, they used so much speed that they got to the ball, or the guy receiving the punt returner, before the ball even got there. Okay, the purpose of them moving so quickly is because they want to get there before the ball does. They want to. Now, that's not always what happens, because we're not all extremely fast. Okay, but they still want to get there quickly, even if they're not going to beat the ball. So they have to run as fast as they can, trying to avoid contact or blockers to get to the guy who's going to receive the punt. So that way he can fair catch, because he don't want to get hit. Or if he tries to run it, they're there to make the tackle. Okay, but it's all about moving fast and with speed to reach that destination, or else they're useless. Okay, now moving on to agility. An example of agility in football is performing a juke. Okay, now let's say you've got the ball, you're the running back, you're running, defender is coming in front of you to tackle you. You're not gonna, if you're gonna juke them, you're not gonna truck them, you're not gonna run through them. You wanna hit them with a juke, okay? You're not gonna do it at full speed. You're not gonna be running, and you're not gonna just, you have to slow down. Obviously, as you see, usually running backs will start to chop their feet. They're running with the ball. They'll start to chop to slow down and stabilize the entire body to help them and allow them to quickly apply maximal force through a new direction. Okay? Now, in order to do that, obviously you have to be able to decelerate, to slow down, and then you have to accelerate very fast to get an explosive burst through the new movement. Okay, I think that's a really perfect example. You could even talk about the gunners, that they have to use agility as well, because as they're booking down the field, they're not going to want to sprint past the punt returner, right? They're going to want to decelerate, slow down, break down. That's the term we use in football. You want to break down and get ready for your tackle. Okay, that you're breaking down is your deceleration to help you slow it and then explode through your new movement. Okay, now example 3 is going to be an example of quickness. Now quickness, remember, we are reacting to an external stimuli. Okay, so kind of like a juke. That's another good example. That's a good example for quickness as well, right? Because you're not just juking thin air. You didn't plan to juke, right? It's just something that happened on the given play. Why? You're reacting to the defender trying to tackle you, okay? But now let me give you a better example. Let me give you a new one. Example 3, let's shift to defense, okay? Corners probably have one of the hardest jobs in all of football, especially right now in the NFL, throwing the ball 40 plus times a game for half the NFL, okay? So that being said, they're covering a lot of routes for the entire game, okay? And I mean, they don't know every single play, you know, it's a football game. They're not going to know everything the other team is calling. They're going to get thrown for a loop a couple times. That being said, even whether in man or in zone, you need to react to what's going on in front of you. Okay, if you're in man coverage where you're just focused on guarding your one receiver, right? You have to keep your eyes on him and you want to focus on him, but you're reacting to everything that he does. So let's say he does a 10-yard in, you're going to be backpedaling, and then as soon as you see him start to decelerate, that's where your quickness comes into play to react fastly to that and then change your direction with maximal force from backpedaling into a sprint to meet him at his cut where he's going to be cutting inward, right? Another good example, let's see, linebackers, right? Linebackers, they got it pretty tough too. Before the play, they've got to worry about, is it run? Is it pass? What is it going to be? So when the ball snaps, their eyes are usually on the quarterback, okay? The quarterback and the running back. That being said, they have to quickly process what's going on, right? So let's say it's a running play, so the quarterback snaps it, takes his steps back, and he starts coming back to hand the ball off, right? As linebackers, you don't have enough time to sit and wait or think and process. You need to be quick. You need to be very quick. You need to apply that quickness and react fastly to that stimuli of the quarterback handing the ball off. So you know it's not a pass play. I'm not going to drop back into pass coverage. I need to attack. I need to quickly assess and then quickly react by going through and playing the run, okay? Those are some good examples of quickness, I think. And then now for change of direction, your example, I think it'll really clear up what's going on. The slight confusion that can happen there. Change of direction is pre-planned. So a perfect example would be a receiver. We have routes. Let's say we're running a 10-yard out, right? Regardless of what the defender does, regardless of if they're in man or zone, regardless of if it's a blitz, your route for this play call is a 10-yard out. That being said, you know where you're going. You know when to do it. You know that you're going to be changing direction. So you need to be able to do that quickly still, okay? You still need to apply your SAQ and all of those skills into your change of direction. But now to have a good change of direction, that's where rate of force development comes in, okay? Rate of force development is the development of maximal force in minimal time, okay? Through a range of motion, right? So basically, it's power. You want to have a lot of power with a short amount of time. Okay, that being said, that is very important in change of direction. Okay, obviously, especially even in like your deceleration and acceleration. Okay, it plays a very big role in the explosiveness of your movements, right? Let's say we're doing a juke. We decelerated, great. But now are we able to explosively, or do we have a good enough rate of force development to explosively apply that through our new movement? Or are we going to decelerate and be too slow to move onto our new direction that we get tackled, right? Also super important, even in just like change of direction, pre-planned moves, right? As a receiver, the goal is to get open so they can throw the ball to you without having a corner or safety or defender on your body, right? So you can catch it and run with the ball upfield. But in order to do that, you have to be able to apply maximal force through your changes of direction to quickly fool them. If you don't do it fast, if you're running a 10-yard out route and you cut out, right? See, even I cut out fast. But if I'm running and I just turn and then run that way, I'm not gonna get open at all. The defender is going to be able to react super quick, much quicker than I'm moving, okay? So rate of force development is super crucial in SAQ and change of direction, okay? And now that, my friends, is SAQ, change of direction, and rate of force development.